Alright, let's start this up. Let's get it done. Hopefully this will be good. Okay. WoW patch history. What the fuck?
Smooth the groove!
What the fuck is this?
He was in our guild. He was in MAGA.
Really? Okay. Holy shit. Oh, there he is. There he is.
Hey guys, what's up? MadSeason here, back with another video for you in my patch by patch series. It's been a good bit since I did one of these. In the last one, we covered patch 0.10, which had some pretty major stuff going on.
Okay.
The level cap was increased to 60.
That's big.
The raid grouping system was implemented, and we saw the release of the Stratholme Dungeon and the Blackrock Spire raid, and also the Winter Spring, Western, and Eastern Plagueland zones, and the last remnants of that old skill point system finally saw its end.
Thank God.
I wanted to make this video a twofer because these patches are kind of small in comparison.
Okay.
They're the final 2 patches before release, so it makes sense that
This
they're
is
not
a great
doing
song.
these huge sweeping changes. Just trying to smooth out the more major systems and get some semblance of...
Can we go back and just look at this right here?
They're the final
Just
2
one
patches
second. I want to
before
show you guys
release,
something
so
here.
it makes sense that they're not doing these huge sweeping changes.
Oh, next
Just
one.
trying to smooth out...
See, this is a vanilla vanilla warrior right here. Look at this guy right here. He's literally doing nothing.
the more major systems and get
He's
some
actually
semblance.
just AFK. He's just sitting there AFK. That's how you know this is actual vanilla WoW footage. Like, if you go and you watch the old vanilla WoW videos, people everywhere are just fucking AFK. They're not even doing anything. They're vanilla WoW raiders. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're backpedaling around, etc. It's awful.
Oh, but you
stability,
better not
I
take a
guess.
ret paladin. Oh,
Starting
no,
with the
no,
most
no.
major stuff.
That's right.
I'd
First
much
up,
rather have
we
people
the new
just
models
AFK in the
and
raid.
Animations. By now
Can't
in
have
the
a ret
series,
paladin.
you
Well, to be fair, though, if a warrior was AFKing in the raid, as long as he was auto-attacking, he'd probably be doing about the same damage as the ret paladin would, considering they're
Yeah,
using the same
except
tool set.
He wasn't, though.
Okay. Wait, what the fuck is... Ugh.
That's
probably noticed that all of the models are just slightly different than what you're used to for classic World of Warcraft.
She's hot.
The humans skip leg day.
What the
Maybe the
fuck?
sitting emotes are different. Dwarves have a different posture and do that when they take fall damage.
Oh my
This
god.
patch saw an update.
Is it
to
bone
most of
breaking?
these
Holy
models,
shit.
And we ended up with races that we all know and love.
Okay.
People ask all the time for an option for new models and animations for the re-release of Classic, but I'm still waiting on those original female trolls, man. Like, seriously, who looked at this and said, nice, looks good. 2 arms, 2 legs, makes sense to me. As you can see, the Torrens had a hunchback or Notre Dame thing going on, but don't be fooled by their large stature. As it turns out, they're quite limber.
Yeah, I can
And
see
if
that.
you look closely, the Night Elf breasts are 50% more bouncy. And female gnomes are 50% more bouncy. If you look closely, the Night Elf breasts are 50%.
Okay. We don't...
Wow! Yo, true, dude. We're just... Oh, listen, we're... Wait, and they got rid of that? Why did they get rid of that? Sounds great.
Well, people got offended.
I guess so.
And female gnomes are,
What the fuck is that?
Jesus.
Oh my god.
yeah, let's just move on, huh? So, new models and animations to make things look a bit prettier in this patch.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Next though, we have Warlock Talents. Not
Cool.
actually the final trees to be added to the game, as the release patch 1.1 would see the reveal of the Paladin and Hunter trees. Now unfortunately, I can't find the original 0.11 trees. As you can see, the Demonology tree has yet to be implemented, so we'll just have to settle for the 0.12 talents instead.
It's about the same
As far
shit.
as I know, these are all the same.
Yeah,
it's
these are
just
all
that
the
we
same.
have the Demonology tree here.
Okay.
As for the original Warlock trees though, It's surprisingly similar to the final 1.12 talents.
Yep.
It seems like they hit it right on the money for what they wanted for the Warlock.
There you go.
For the other classes, we saw some strange things, such as that pesky troll regeneration racial rearing its ugly head.
Wait, what is this here? Pesky troll regeneration? Let me go back and look at that again.
We saw some
I want to see
things, such as that pesky troll regeneration.
Combat endurance. Wait, this is a warrior thing? A passive ability that allows your hit point regeneration from spirit to work while in combat? Wait, what the fuck? That would have been insane.
That would have been OP as fuck.
That would have been amazing. Holy fuck, man. And they got rid of this? Oh my god. This is awesome. Spirit stacking warriors.
Its ugly head. But for
Damn.
Warlock, it's pretty similar. One thing I noticed is that their ruin talent used to be called Holocaust, so that was changed for obvious
Oh. Okay. Okay, dude.
reasons. And
how
here
did
you
that
can see
get
that
through?
Warlocks have a nice buff to getting stoned, so that's always nice. Speaking of which though, and this was something that persisted through Classic, but their Firestones actually gave some bonus damage to melee attacks, which is kind of strange.
Oh, that's good, just in case you want to get in
there.
there.
Melee element to them.
That's a really good idea.
Priests, which might seem odd, but I think it's something that came more from the Dungeons and Dragons scene, which I'm sure influenced World of Warcraft quite a bit.
Yeah.
If only there was an original class designer still around to ask these questions. Well, it just so happens that there is. Kevin Jordan was one of the original designers of the game, and the man responsible for all of this stuff.
What the fuck?
He was the main class designer for Vanilla World of Warcraft, and he streams quite a bit on Twitch.tv, so I want to give him a quick plug here. Definitely check him out if you want to hear some perspective of the game in both its current and classic state, or just an entertaining stream in general.
What the fuck was that?
But anyways, another big change is the addition of new loot methods, which were pretty important. We have the group loot, which brings up a loot window whenever an item drops. This was before the need and greed era, as the only two options
was that
were
trading
roll or
back
pass.
in the day?
That was only added in patch 1.7.
Oh my god!
Where they distinguished between need and greed. Not
this
to be
game was so
confused with the
rudimentary
need
back
before
then.
Greed loot option, which just auto passes items that certain players can't even use.
Okay.
So just some added loot protection here.
Makes
Most
sense.
guilds, if they were smart, would opt for the master looter and just use third-party methods.
They
of
sure would.
distributing items such as dragon killing points, or DKP for short,
Yep.
which
That's
was the
what we
loot
did.
system that was first adapted in the EverQuest game, actually. Basically, you get these points for killing raid bosses or donating to the guild, and you use them as a currency to bid on items.
That was like the most pay-to-win shit ever back in the day. Whenever you were able to spend extra you were able to get extra DKP by contributing things into the guild bank, and then you just had everybody, like these same people that would just like buy the rewards, basically. I would get so goddamn mad about that.
Against other guild members. Players would also use loot councils, where the higher-ranking members decide who gets what. And for those who liked complete anarchy, you also had the manual / rolling system. But that was
always really great.
Stuff like this would happen.
Other than rogues, because all the rogues can't go on it.
Oh, dude.
What are you doing?
Oh, dude.
Oh my god!
What the fuck? How did shit never drops?
I'm going to kill myself right now. See ya!
Oh,
Rest
man.
assured though, no matter what you did, drama quickly
was
arose
great.
over who should get these items and who shouldn't.
Me.
Epics were epic back then, to say the least.
Yeah, I'd say
While
so.
leveling, you mostly
More
had
so than they
greens,
are now.
and maybe a couple of blues here and there.
Right.
So seeing a purple was extremely rare. So at the end game, these would be coveted ultra powerful
Yeah, that's a
items
big
that
purple
everyone
boy.
wanted. And with 40-man raids, there simply weren't enough to go around. Friendships forged over the course of years fell victim to the power of the mighty pixel.
You piece of shit! You piece of shit! I can't believe you. Oh my god.
Wow, man.
And he has my motherfucking gloves too.
So they did their best to provide a means for players
God,
to hand them
dude.
out in an organized
love it.
fashion, but ultimately it was up to the guilds and players.
Dude,
But next, going into
if
the
Blizzard wants to make the game better, they should just add Master Loot back in. And then make it to where whenever you join a pug, you have to be in voice chat. And that way, as soon as somebody would ninja some shit, you'd have people screaming on the fucking mic, getting so mad. You would have so many new videos of people yelling and screaming at each other. It would just be amazing. I genuinely think Blizzard should make it to where you basically, like, they should incentivize, like, maybe they'll give you, like, 20% more, like, artifact power or something if you join voice chat. to get people using it more often. I'd fucking love that. Like being able to talk shit to other people in online games. That's why they were made.
More minor stuff of point 11, the undead race lost their ability to speak common, instead now having gutter speak as their main language.
Yeah, because they're inferior.
We talked about this earlier in the series, so I won't stick on this for too long, but of course, once being human, undead players did retain their fluency in the common tongue, and they were able to understand and talk to other Alliance players.
Wow.
It was removed probably to maintain the faction
dumb.
separation, which was more important back then, and probably because players weren't playing too nice, I like to imagine. Another funny change I thought is that water walking no longer works on lava. Lava was very deadly back then, as you'd imagine.
Oh yeah,
so like
lava was just water, basically.
Poor shaman not reading the patch notes and just jumping into a pool of lava to their doom.
Fuck them. That's
Well,
what they
it
get if
serves
you don't
them
know how to
right.
lava jump.
Dirty horde.
Yeah.
And this is kind of off topic here, but a little fun fact for you is that the original way to zone into the Molten Core was to go through this window right here in the
Yep,
Black
to
Rock
jump
Mountain.
right through the little window.
If things were working correctly, you'd zone right in. However, back then, there were issues with instances, and sometimes you'd fail to load, and you'd then be dumped into the lava instead to certain death. While some
It was
developers
a little bit of
just
RNG,
laughing his
right?
ass off,
Make the game a
probably.
bit more exciting.
We know your game, Kevin. Don't try to hide it.
Yeah.
And another issue was, at first, due to their size, Torrent weren't able to even zone in into the raid because they couldn't fit through the window. This was all remedied in patch 1.3
Oh,
though,
they didn't
when
need
they
to
added
fix that?
Lofos
That sounds
Riftwalker
great.
to simply teleport players
Yeah,
inside
that's
the raid.
amazing. I love that.
And another trolly thing here is that this patch updated the Mage Portals. They now require you to click on them to go to the city, which if I'm understanding this correctly, previously it was just based off of proximity. So you probably had these mages opening portals on unsuspecting party members. Hey, that's one way to
Dude, if you fucking imagine if we had that and we could just find a group of mages to just like all converge on one person, like a 40-man raid, and just make portals all around them. So they literally can't fucking go anywhere. Like, and make the portals to like fucking Exodar or some dumb shit like that. That would be so goddamn fucking amazing.
get loot.
Yeah, portal prison.
Just wait until the boss is almost dead and port the unsuspecting Warlock to Darnassus.
Yep, and then you get the loot.
As you can see, this patch was also when they removed armor type from cloaks. Ever wonder why there are so many cloaks in the game, especially early on? Or why
Yeah.
some were specified as chain but didn't give any bonus armor?
That's a really good point.
It's all a remnant of this old cloak system.
Holy shit, I never even thought of that.
But
Wow.
that's about it for patch .11.
God damn.
Like I said though, I also wanted to cover patch .12.
Holy shit, I had no
The
idea.
biggest change here probably is the addition of durability to the game. This
Oh,
is another
no.
point to bring up in regards to the
Oh,
casual nature of
no.
the game back then. Once again,
Yeah,
bringing
this
up Star Wars
sucked.
Galaxies here, this game also had a durability system, but it was much more harsh. If an item's condition drained all of the way, it was broken forever.
Wait,
You
what?
could repair it in this game as well, but it wasn't a guaranteed
That
thing.
sucks.
There were a few outcomes.
That's actually
and
fucking
that's one,
garbage.
the item is fully repaired. 2, the item is repaired,
Oh my
but
God.
the max durability is reduced. And 3, you fail completely, and the item just breaks right then and there.
That's
So
it sounds like
any
Black
item
Desert.
you get would eventually break. Can you
Okay.
imagine in World of Warcraft getting your Hand of Ragnaros, and then 2 weeks later you lose it because you failed in a repair? Again, it just goes to show that during the time,
Hey,
World of
that's
Warcraft
great.
was aimed for that casual market back then, and it says a lot about where the genre has gone as a whole, since as you know, people look back to Classic
Yeah,
as
it's a
being,
race
quote,
to the bottom.
hardcore in many aspects compared to current.
How can we cater to
But
the biggest
durability
idiot
is
possible?
still super important because it was the biggest gold sink back then, and probably still is today in fact.
I fucking hated that shit, man. Like, as a warrior back then, like, part of the warrior's cost was actually having to repair your gear because plate gear would just cost a lot more gold to repair. And I remember, like, whenever I would have to repair and it would take me 1 gold, like, if it ever went over 1 gold, I got mad. Like, I immediately got mad because I thought to myself, I'm like, man, this is not my fault. I did not die for this. Like, I mean, this is not my fault that we died before. It's somebody else's fault. And I wasn't mauling back then because I still had hair. I was like 16 years old, but I was pissed. Let me say that for sure.
Spells, professions, and mount training were all expensive back then, but she would eventually max all of that out. Repairs, on the other hand, were present at every stage of the game, at level 1 and at level 60 in Extremis rating, and they were quite harsh for more heavily armored players as I recall.
They sure
It was
were.
common back then for guilds to fund the repair costs for their main
This is such fucking bullshit, dude. Like, a cloth wearer would full repair for like 70 silver. If you're in plate armor, like that shit right there on the screen, it'd be like 5 gold. Like, imagine spending 5 gold in classic WoW just to repair your shit.
Thanks, because, well, they died the most. And
Yeah.
usually being protection, it was more time consuming for them to grind gold.
I made the
outside of
guild
raids.
pay for my repairs.
Certainly something that would have outraged beta testers when it was released, since I'm sure gold was already pretty hard to come by.
Yeah, it was.
But next, we have the release of the Scholomance Dungeon.
Oh, dude.
In the previous episode, we previewed the Isle of Caradero, and we talked a bit about how it may have turned out to be an outside questing area, but in this patch, we got the
I wish they had
Caradero
done that.
we
That
all
would've been
know and
cool.
love. And Scholomance was officially added as a dungeon, and it was a good choice because it was one of the more iconic dungeons in the game, serving
Dude,
as a
I
school
fucking love
of
that
necromancy and shadow magic. for
Like, I wish they'd bring
Kel'Thuzad's
this back.
minions. This place held the iconic Tier 0 headpieces for each class. Everyone wanted
I still think Blizzard should do that shit, honestly. Like, they should make it to where back, like, for 1 week, or like 2 weeks each year, you can go back and do the old dungeons and try to farm them for the transmog gear. And that way, like, everybody would fucking just sit there and wait for that 1 week. It would be like vanilla WoW. It would be like, not really the anniversary, but like, imagine like vanilla WoW time walking. It would happen in like July or something like that. So everybody would be off school. So they would bring back all of the old dungeons with all of the old loot tables, and you could go back to there and you would have that one shot. And I this is the most controversial thing that I've said. They could bring back Naxxramas 40-man, scale everybody down to where Naxxramas is like just ridiculously fucking hard, and give you 1 shot a year for Corrupted Ashbringer. And allow you to use Master Loot in the dungeon. You guys say no. Imagine how mad. Imagine how fucking mad. People would probably try to kill each other. If a game is so good that you want to kill somebody over it, that's a good game.
the head and shoulders back then, mainly because they're the most noticeable, but the dungeon as a whole is impeccable, as with most dungeons in Classic. This is where the paladins finished that great quest chain
Oh,
for their
fuck,
epic
was it
mount.
Rattlescale?
You'd head
What
into
was
the
his
basement
name?
here and
Rattlegore.
defend a
Yeah,
phylactery
Rattlegore.
for multiple waves of enemies.
Oh, this was so
each being
fucking
vulnerable
annoying.
to certain paladin seals.
Yeah, you can't
They
do that one
climaxed
anymore,
with the Dark
unfortunately.
Master Gandling boss, who was one of the few multiple phase bosses in the game at that point.
I fucking
teleporting
hated that
players
boss.
into the surrounding rooms and locking them inside until they kill all of the zombies. He had a chance to drop this staff, which was highly sought after by casters back then.
I never did that.
Like I said, anything purple would be like an oh snap moment.
Yeah, it's like getting
Everyone would
legendary
stop
now.
in their tracks and try to come up with ways to justify just why it's ultimately a hunter weapon.
Yeah, basically.
Secrets were abound, summonable bosses, a key to collect.
Kithronos the
and it
Herald,
also
or whatever, or
held an
Kithronos. I
alchemy
don't know how to
lab.
actually say his name.
You needed
But,
this
the
to
Herald guy.
flasks back then, and prior to the Blackwing Lair raid, it was the only one in the game, so you'd always see alchemists wanting to run this place for the table
Yep.
alone.
Yep.
The
To make
Mage
the
Chasm
flasks.
dungeon was also added in this patch.
Oh, this is such a dumb
This
dungeon.
one was alright.
I
don't
hated
know,
this
it's a horde
dungeon.
dungeon, so I don't think anyone really cares about that, right?
Nobody cares about
It's
it.
a pretty straightforward place.
You just
but it
kill
makes
this guy
sense
and it's
since
over.
It's a low-level
That's
dungeon.
all there is to it.
Speaking of which, though, a change with the Superior Alliance dungeon, the Dead Mines,
True.
is that the miners were made to be no longer elite.
Dude, imagine if they were elite. That shit would take forever. Holy
There were
fuck.
a ton of these guys, so this place would have taken you hours to get through, I'd
Yeah,
imagine.
holy shit. I'm thinking
And
about
another
that.
change
Wow.
here is that you can no longer complete quests while in a raid. Not really too
Oh,
much
of
to say about this one.
course, of course.
Just kind of interesting, I thought, that it was possible at one point. Obviously, some issues with balance, though. And
Yeah,
here
I
we
could
also
say so.
have finishing duels now removes debuffs from players. I imagine warlocks were pretty fun to duel. since
Oh,
they would
yeah,
win.
dude.
You'd
They
be
get you
stopped
down
at
to 1 health. The dots
and then a
just
dot
finish you
ticks
off.
and actually kills you.
That's perfect.
Maybe that's why they gave a 30-minute cooldown to their banish spell. Some developer lost one too many duels to a warlock, I'm thinking.
Wait, a 30-minute
But speaking
cooldown
of
on
which,
Banish?
They finally made it have no cooldown this
What the
patch.
fuck?
And
When does-
also removed the
When was
reagent
that
cost.
a thing? I don't even
But
remember
here
that.
we have an interesting change.
Holy
and
shit.
That spirit no longer affects item proc percentage.
Okay.
As you know, this ended up just being for health and mana regeneration, and was one of the weaker stats for most classes in the game in general, aside from leveling maybe. So I guess this is why he saw so much of it in the game. This was all over the Shadowcraft set, which seemed like a big waste.
Holy
but
shit.
at one point it was more powerful, and when they removed its effect on
Oh,
proc rates,
yeah.
they just neglected to change any of the
I
items
remember that
had
trinket
it.
was fucking ridiculous.
But that's pretty much it.
At least I think
For
it
each
was.
of these videos, I'd also like to add a section at the end of players reacting to all of this stuff. There do exist archives of the forums during the time.
Oh
Patch
no,
0.11
dude.
was September 29th,
I bet the people were probably pissed back then
2004,
too.
and 0.12 was October 11th. Unfortunately, you can't look at the actual threads, but the titles still give us enough
Okay.
to work with, so let's take a look
Yeah, they're
and see
mad
what
enough.
the players are thinking.
Okay. This is unacceptable. You can find the same titles now. World of Warcraft will be the worst game ever. N64 graphics are better than WoW graphics. True. I hear that WoW is same old, same
Well,
old.
damn.
Yep.
Well, it looks like the internet was pretty much the same back then.
Is anybody
These people
actually
act as
buying
if World
this?
of Warcraft took their imaginary girlfriends or something. Wait.
Make women
make
less
women
naked?
less naked? Okay, now you've gone too far.
Yeah, get
I
this
also
guy
like
out of
this
here.
one. Such eloquence in communicating his
Monthly
frustrations
fee.
with Blizzard's.
Wait, they were almost reeing back then? Oh my god.
Looking at the other posts, it was
How much
actually
will the
quite a
stupid fee
controversial
cost
thing
for
back
WoW?
then, which surprised me. It seemed like it was common practice with any MMO. I think a big reason is that there were a lot of fans coming
Yeah,
from the
Warcraft 3 was free.
games, so they were used to that one-time purchase setup.
Yeah, of course.
But you have to give credit to Larson74 here, asking the real questions, although I think we all know the answer.
Yes,
Here we
they
see
will.
a thread about durability. Like
That's
I
good. I'm
said,
glad that
players were
somebody is
probably pretty
paying
unhappy
attention to
see it
what
added to
what
the
counts,
game,
what matters.
And it's a shame that we can't get into the actual thread and see what... Okay, now it's really a shame. Is anyone
God.
actually buying this? If only you knew, Anvil Man.
If only you knew. Yeah.
But that's about it.
I didn't even know all
This
that.
concludes
Holy
our
shit.
coverage of pre-release
I
World of
missed the early
Warcraft.
2000s.
We're just getting started
Yeah,
though,
they were
because in the
great.
next video, we'll
They're
talk about
fucking
the day
amazing,
of
actually.
November 23rd,
Here, I'll start the site one.
2004, a date that changed the world of Warcraft. I hope that you found the video interesting or entertaining.
It was a
Like it
good
if you
video.
liked it. and I'll
I
see you in
did
the
actually
next
like
one.
this video a lot. It was
Peace.
really calm and chill, and it was funny. They really should do that. I feel like if they added like
Farewell for now, mortals. We hope you enjoyed today's video.
if they added a
See you
boob
again
size slider in
soon.
WoW, I feel like a lot of people would actually get really upset about that though. That's the problem. Like, but if they ever did do that, I would be happy. Let me just say that. I would be very happy. Can we start summons, guys? Let's go ahead and just start summons and get this done.